So before coming to Japan, now that I'm here, well, before I came, I knew certain things. You know, I knew that I needed to. Sorry. Before coming to Japan, now that I'm here, actually, after 9 months, I think I can say that there are certain things that I wish I knew before I came, and I think the first one is learning some amount of Japanese.
Yeah, like, well, to be honest, I feel like I didn't need it because I never really had any real trouble because I don't know it, but I'm sure it would have made things easier.
Exactly what I'm talking about, because even though my Japanese is still not like up there, it clearly has improved because I'm in Japan, and as a means of survival, there is the need to understand some simple Japanese words and just to ingratiate myself in the culture. There are certain words I need to know, so good morning and stuff like that.
By the way, guys, take notes. That's a vocabulary word for the day.
Good morning, which
ingratiate.
Is ingratiate. That word. But yeah, because sometimes when I first came, for me, this is my personal experience. When I came and you hear this foreign language, everybody around is speaking, it's like, it's very confusing, and I feel like my brain switched off for a moment, and it's like, because you're so used to hearing English, and I'm from Jamaica, so I'm so used to hearing the Creole and the English. When you come into a country where it's not like I'm a fanatic of the country, and I didn't stop to study the language. I just knew that I was going to Japan, and they said that you don't need Japanese. I'm like, I don't need to learn Japanese. But then when you come here and you just want to ask simple questions, and the persons don't speak English, or they're flustered because you're foreign and they don't speak English, so they're flustered already, and you have no knowledge of the language. That can be tricky. But I think now for me, like I said, my Japanese isn't very good, but when I hear certain words, I begin to have an understanding. The minute I hear doko, I know it has something to do with where. The minute I hear arimaska, it's do you have, or something like that.
Yeah, my friend. You know what the first thing we learn?
What?
Toire doko desu ka?
Toilet, where's the toilet?
Yes. So it's like, and even if we never learned that, we get probably gesture. Like how somebody in a toilet.
Yeah.
You go say yes, yo.
Yeah.
And
then I think toilet is the phonetics of it is similar to what you're used, and I think that's what saved me a lot of the time. The fact that there are instances where the English counterpart is very similar to the Japanese word, so it's very easy for them to understand sometimes. But if you can't speak Japanese, Google Translate is your go-to. Like, that's your best friend. But I would recommend
or any other translation
app.
Device,
but I think that's the more accessible one. I think most phones come with, if it's an
go out of the way.
Yeah, Google Translate, and it's useful. But for me, I find that sometimes it takes up too much time trying to figure out what they're saying and then typing in what you want to say.
Or you can speak into it and them speak into it. So it's just translation will take time regardless. So don't be too conscious about that. I usually tell people that you don't need Japanese here. That's true to some extent, but it limits what you have access to.
Exactly.
So I'd encourage anybody to study the language if you're gonna be here for a while. And to be honest, I kind of have more respect for people who have learned the language.
I think learning just basic ones, thank you, because I think everybody knows konnichiwa. Everybody knows that hello in Japanese is konnichiwa. But simple things, I think for me, like I said, it was an adjustment period to adjust to hearing the language and trying to speak the language, because of course the language structure is very different from English language, and then the pronunciation is different as well, because they don't say L, they don't have L
in their alphabet.
Yeah, so R is pronounced like a L over here. So when you're teaching the students, for example, they'll say Friday instead of Friday.
And lamen. It's funny because they don't have an L, but they
pronounce
say
the
R
L.
is like L.
Yeah, the R is like an L to them. So learning how to pronounce the words was different.
So for me, the pronunciation or the phonetics of the language, I actually think I have a pretty good grasp of it,
I have a
because
decent grasp now, but
sometimes I like when there's exams, I'll study for a week. And that's as much as I know. And I also used to listen to this thing called Prim's Law. So there's this book called The Japanese Demystified, which is pretty good, and it teaches you, the first thing it teaches you is how to pronounce the alphabet, how to memorize it. And then there's Prim's Law, which is like a whole volumes of audio lessons, like conversation lessons and stuff. That's very basic and goes like has 12 volumes or something like that, or yeah, something like that. So you learn quite a bit, and you can learn while you travel, while you commute to work, on the train, wherever you're going. But it's pretty expensive. You probably can find it on iTunes. Primsler.
You don't. I mean, if you're coming, you don't necessarily need to learn like every single thing in Japanese, but just basic words like good morning, thank you, excuse me, just stuff like that. Just simple words. Or I don't speak Japanese.
I find that you really don't listen to that, because if you don't speak Japanese, just say you don't speak Japanese in English. That's better. That's actually. Let me tell you a quick story. So. This guy came to our door. I had roommates at the time. This guy came to our door, and apparently he looked like a police, but he looked like a underdog, like a detective or something, right? And my friend got to the door, and then like she see him badge and thing, and she's like, "Yo, what kind of trouble this here though?" And she just say, "Yo," instead of say, "Yo, Nihongo wakarimasen," she just say, "No Japanese." And him say, okay, and just cut.
Yeah.
So there might still be an unsolved murder out there, because like we could help, but still. But I think it's just redundant, like.
Yeah, I understand.
Or you can say I don't speak English, and I'm gonna say you just spoke English.
My Japanese is very bad then.
Huh?
My Japanese is very bad.
Oh, I don't know how to say that. I don't speak Japanese.
Nihongo totemo ite desu.
Okay. But you can't say that and you don't have nothing else to say.
Yeah.
So if you
and then anything else come after that is wakarimasen.
Oh wow. Okay.
Wakarimasen. And if they persist, watashi wa Nihongo totemo ite desu. Eigo wa neshitemasu ka? Do you speak English?
Yeah, I used to like that. Eigo wakarimasu ka? That don't work on girls though.
They don't?
Apparently not. Like, better you just say, better you start talking to them in English and make them respond. Because if you go up to them and say, "Eigo wakarimasu ka?" They're gonna be like, "Eigo wakarimasen." And then that just done this up. Because you're not the Japanese to speak.
Yeah.
Don't set yourself up, guys.
I'm not approaching Japanese girls, so I would not know. You're approaching Japanese girls, Chris?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
At the moment, I think I'm over them. There wasn't much of a hump to get over.
So that was, it was very quick.
Got him!
Pun received. Yeah, one of the other things, but I knew it before I came. So in Japan, there are certain things, the ingredients in certain things are very different from what we're used to in the Western world. That is, for example, like toothpaste.
Yes, we have cook ingredients, toothbrush. What kind of spell you out, try? Work up. Either your cauldron, toothpaste, toothbrush a victim, stir well.
Why did I just say toothbrush? Oh God. Toothpaste, guys. Toothpaste. Right? So the toothpaste here, I think it doesn't have fluoride. Is it fluoride?
Apparently.
Yeah. So it either doesn't have or doesn't have enough. And so you'll find, no offense Japanese people if you're watching this, you'll find that the teeth of the teeth of a lot of Japanese persons.
Yeah.
So a lot of them have the metal fillers or whatever they call it. Even young people you'll find have the metal things because teeth.
Imagine like you paint a concrete wall and then the paint start peel off. That's what some of the people like.
Yeah, it's not gonna stay good.
Looks like some of Jamaica road then.
Wait, they don't stay good. While saying that while waving the flag.
Proud.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So so if in as much as you can take them with you. And for my girls who have natural kinky hair, and boys too, men, you're going to have some I don't know about you, but you're going to have some problems finding products that are, obviously because Japan is a largely homogeneous country, so finding products that are readily available for your hair texture or your hair type might be difficult. So take along with you those hair products that you enjoy using, and if you can have someone from home send you care packages with them every now and again to top up your supply, then do that. And if you do find them here, they're ridiculously expensive.
It's a capital H.
Capital expensive. So deodorant as well. So deodorant, toothbrush.
Please, deodorant. That is not what the green in the flag is for.
Well, yeah.
Not talking only the Jamaican people though.
Take with you your toothpaste, your deodorant, and your hair products. Since I've been here, my hair is short. I cut my hair before I came here, and I don't regret it because when I tell you, my hair is having the hardest time to adjust to Japan. Like,
well, at least it not drop out. Enough people come here and the hair drop out.
It feels very crispy, and crispy is the perfect exactly. But what I found some products on Amazon that ships here, so I've been using that. It helps, but my hair has not been the same since I've been here.
All right, hold on a second. I know somebody's out there saying, "Why not stop with that flag? They're so distracting." All right, I'm gonna stop now. I'm tired of it anyway.
It's this.
Bring your own condoms, cause they don't fit.
Really.
I'm just saying, like she said, homogeneous.
Mm-hmm.
The rumors are true.
Listen.
Oh, yeah.
So the products here cater to the population.
Of course.
So if you are outside of the regular Japanese person, then like he said, take your condoms.
Yeah. What else should they take? Yo, what's the stupidest thing you brought to the work?
I didn't bring anything. I don't think I brought anything that.
When I was coming to Japan, forks.
What? No, that's stupid for real.
Spoons actually go out of my way to buy them.
What? Why don't I'm trying to find out the rationale.
It was just a hectic time, yeah. Just never want to leave no stone unturned, you know, never want to starve to death because never the fuck. Yeah.
No.
That was the silliest thing.
Chris.
I brought pens.
For real. You brought.
I brought and guess what? None of the pen them don't work. Like the whole of them dry up. I don't know why. Yeah. Oh, clothes sizes.
Yes.
Maybe there's other personal care stuff we can get into, but clothes size. Yeah. The only foreign chains and big foreign companies here will have your size, unless you find a very niche store that sells your size.
At work, one of the things I do sometimes is I just go over the men's section, because when I want things like socks, like these socks that I'm wearing now, I bought them in the men's section because I find that
your foot big.
Shut up. I find that like they stop at like probably a US size 8 for women. Anything over that is like, it's so hard to find a 9, worst 9.5, worst 10. No. So what I just do when I want things like socks and even sometimes coats, I just go by the men's section, because I have a better chance of finding something that's going to fit me.
Yeah, for guys, usually you can't find your size here, especially like if you're not Asian, you're likely gonna be wearing a bigger size. So shoes, bring your shoes, arrange. Maybe if you travel back home, you'd have to shop for shoes and stuff. Sizes above 11, extremely hard to find. Things like suits are super expensive here. So get that at home as well.
Yeah.
I would love to know like I wish I could share like an online site that could help you get good suits that fit, but I haven't found one yet. You might be spending upwards of like 40 grand on a suit. 40
yen is like 400 US.
40,000 yen.
Yeah, it's like 400 US.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a 40 yen.
40 yen, you say?
Yes.
Oh, if you're coming to Japan as an ALT, obviously if you're moving to any country, you're going to need to finance that move. I know for me, well, for us, our company offers like a loan. Did they have that when you were coming here too?
Yeah.
So they offer a loan that you pay back over a period of time.
Was it 2% or 3%?
I don't know about that. I didn't take a loan, so I didn't look into that one.
Money.
You took a loan?
I mean, you have to escape the system somehow. Yeah.
I didn't take a loan.
And like every chance me get, I have to big up my bridge in them and everybody, and my ex-girlfriend who like helped me out a lot, gave me a lot of money to come here. You know who you are. If you ever broke up at this video, I still give you thanks. I'm financially in a better place. Of course, I miss all of you. Yeah, but I will take that shout out.
Yeah. So there is that. Well, for me, when I was coming, we were told to have a minimum of 5,000 US dollars.
You need that shit, because
excluding,
I think, paid plane until fare, 2 months after. Yeah, excluding plane fare. So roughly about 6,000 to 7,000 US dollars, depending on how much your plane ticket costs. I would suggest to make sure you have that minimum amount of money, because trust me, when they say you need that, you are going to need that. The setup cost is really what that money is for, like, and to sustain you for that 2-month period. Because moving into an apartment in Japan, I don't know if you wanted to go all into that, but it's usually no less than like 200,000 yen, 200 to 300,000 yen,
and that
depending on the
include like things like, because when I moved in, you had to pay like a deposit for your gas. And all of that, so if that money doesn't include like paying deposits for those and that's essentially we need to cook, because you know. And then when I came here, you need a beard, and that too. And I was saying it was coming down to winter time when I came here, so you're going to need heat, right, and all of that. So you're going to have to pay for it. Before you come, set up something to stay in touch with your people back home. Whether you want to set up somebody who you will send money to send your care packages, or you want to set up something where you maintain communication consistently with people back home, especially if you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend and you don't want to. Or a husband or a wife. I mean, some programs allow you to carry your family, but if you're not like at that point, or you don't have that opportunity, then set up stuff so you have contact with your people, because that will help you. And you just want to maintain your relationships. That will help you when time comes and you're in your loft
yourself. No space, no one around for miles, and you know you're trying to cope in a new environment, even when you get sick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the other things, yeah.
You might get sick before you anyway.
Be careful of the medications that you take here. I've said that before, but as much as possible, try and carry some with you. The ones that aren't
the ones that aren't on the banned list.
list.
So check that. Ask your company, maybe they can tell you.
Like we said, the toothpaste and deodorant and stuff like that are milder. So that also applies for the medication here. So if you can take along with you certain medications, then take those with you.
I think set up an investment account.
Yes.
Before you come.
I wish I
no
did
way here
that.
in Japan, stock, want to invest.
Yeah.
And it's like, it takes
so
an
long.
arm and a leg. It takes.
So long.
Have you set up yours?
No.
And it's been months that we've been trying to do
Yeah.
this. So, banks in Jamaica, they're good at getting things together and have enough money. Don't want more money to invest and make more money.
Because you know what's annoying? One, I went to the bank to set up the account before I came here, and
you're not calling him.
I didn't.
Easy.
I went to the bank to set up, but I didn't set up because one day I went, the person was in a meeting with someone. The person with whom I would have spoken to was in a meeting. I left my name and my number for them to call me, and I've yet to receive a phone call from said person, unsaid person. So that
nobody in the business can you not call the name though. Nobody's accountable. Nobody's responsible for that.
So that person didn't call me, and yeah, me just threw it out because it's unprofessional, and I don't need to call any name because I find that it's a common thread across the banks. Because I've tried on multiple occasions to email even from here to financial institutions back home about setting up the account and what would be the requirement for it. And if it don't take months for them, literally months for them to respond, they either don't respond or take forever to respond.
Just missed out on millions, dude.
Just saying, you know. There are a lot of persons abroad, and I think one of the problems is when people think of abroad in Jamaica, they think about America, Canada, UK, which is kind of understandable because a lot of persons, when they migrate, that's where they go to. But then Japan has a growing number of Jamaicans who are here, and I understand that there is the language barrier.
Couple hundred, probably.
How will if I Jamaican there, Japan? They hear nothing about it. Jamaicans.
What about Jamaica? They're everywhere. That's our biggest export. People. Like seriously, that even banana them that said like
a
people.
lot of us are here.
That said, when you are sending money back to that person, if you're not doing it directly over like internet banking, you need to bring some paperwork for that person to show your relationship with them, so that you can claim for that on your taxes.
Oh, for real? You know how to put me on though?
Just did.
Alright, we need to talk about this after our podcast.
I just did.
But yeah, anything else, Christopher?
I mean, I could talk about this topic like continuously, but to be honest, everything I was just say a while ago, even if you don't do it, you will survive. We survived. I survived. Didn't really plan anything like before I came. I just came.
But for ease of life, because for example, an investment thing for us, we've been talking about it for months.
Yeah, and it's not, and I've been trying, but still, it's like because of the language and the documentation that is issued here, that is why it's so difficult, and it's gonna be more expensive to have it translated than the notarization process.
And everything here is so freaking expensive.
Right. So if you're listening to this or watching this and you know somebody who have work in the banking system and can somehow affect this process and the more money, just use me. Make something.
Make something go on.
Easy. Alright. Yeah, I guess that's all we can done for now. Alright. Lock it off.
Bye guys.